Hey, welcome back to a new video. So I have some bad news. I wanted to create some other files where I was just playing around and trying different things, and I accidentally deleted the original file from the first video. So I went and remade it, and I actually had some issues remaking the team. So let me see. I'll exit out of the home screen and I'll show you the error that I was having so you can hopefully avoid it as well, because it was it's actually pretty easy to avoid, and it's something that I figured out why it was showing the duplicates. So if you saw the last video, I was having duplicates of basically twins of all the players. So I was here to new game and I clicked too many things forward. So if you are using your own custom settings, just go right down here to advanced mode immediately. Don't do what I'm doing. So I went from here to next step, and the option of advanced mode stays on, so that's where the issue can start. So I'll let this load here. I'm not going to go through a whole loading screen. Basically I went here, I was like, oh yeah, of course I want to do that. Then I went to advanced mode and imported my template, which was not the correct thing to do, or the smart thing to do. So we're going to go ahead and exit out of this and go back into the YouTube Guardians. Unless it doesn't, no, there we go. I don't need the folder, I just need to access it. So unfortunately, I was actually pretty close to the same day that I'm recording, which is pretty cool. I guess because opening day is real soon. So basically I have to start from scratch. The only thing I have done so far is, and this is where I always struggle to find where you've made offers to people. Essentially I just made offers to coaches. For the main coaches here, and then for basically any good coach I could find to fill in for other slots. I didn't go through and fire all of the coaches, since at the beginning of the year you're not going to have enough good coaches from what I'm seeing to hire everyone else from where they're at. So it's always good to look at free agents to see if there's anyone that's worth signing. There's always these 2-star, 3-star potential relief pitchers, no matter where what time you look and where you look. So we're going to go ahead and offer him a minor league contract. I believe this guy is a bad person, and that's why he's suspended for 10 months. But in our world, we'll say that he's not. And this guy is 29, so we don't need him. We offered that guy a contract as well. So we're basically just looking, like, if he's 21, that's worth it to throw a minor league contract at him. I'm just going down to see if there's anyone else that is young that is worth throwing a contract to. So Jose Perza, throw a contract to him. Jesus Rodriguez, we're going to offer him, because I have actually offered this guy multiple times, and he usually develops pretty decent. Anthony Rizzo's actually there. Can we offer, how much is that? Only $2 million for him? We kind of don't need him though, to be honest. There's infinite amounts of first basemen that you can always find. All right, so we don't need another relief pitcher. We actually have enough of them. All right, and the rest are just 2-stars. So now we kind of want to look at team in general. I use the Ask the AI to set up the franchise, or to set up the organization, and it set Will Brennan here, which I don't really want him to be taken away. And I have been going by 1 day. I'm going to try this one. I haven't tried this one. Usually I go 1 week or 1 day. And so we're going to try that to see how that feels. And I'll actually go through my settings as well. This is actually another error, now that I'm thinking about it, that I was able to find. And one of the reasons I wanted to start over entirely because of this error. So league settings, league teams, players. So I accidentally made, so generate international amateur free agents. I wanted this to be a lot, and I accidentally did it down here because I'm not very smart. And so I had this turned all the way up to more or a lot, I forget which. So in the free agents, there's this giant list of established free agents, which obviously is not really valid, nor is it really good for league development, frankly, to have that many potentially good free agents just randomly there. Always relief pitchers were like a 5-star relief pitcher is always there seemingly, but I turned off scouting discoveries, so I have the international free agents on for a lot, and then independent leagues, I just left that where I put it at default. I don't think it starts at default. And then we'll go here to manager options. So here are some things I do like to change. So strategies, I like to let the bench coach do that. The development lab, I'm going back and forth. I have it at 20, which is a lot, but I feel like it's worth it. But I might just let the AI handle that. But at the same time, like, I feel like having that as something I can leverage in the off season could be, obviously a way to develop your team. And someone like the Guardians actually is a good team that they have a good farm system, or at least are good at developing players. So development focus, we'll let the assistant GM, and you can go in and change it for individual players, but just like for in first year draft combine, I'm not really sure what that all entails. So I've always, anytime I've been playing with this so far, I just leave that as a scouting director. And then I do need to look for another scouting director. That was one thing, that and a trainer. Sign instruction rules, all of that. One theory as well, so let's go here to the front office. I'm going to increase by $1 each year. We'll see what happens with that. But I usually forget to change that, and I don't like to put it. I wish you could just set the AI to just do the ticket prices for you, and then you could change the expenses, the development budget and stuff yourself, but it's tied together, so you're gonna have to do that yourself. So drafting players, that's obviously gonna be me. Yeah, scouting, development, and ticket price, that's all together. Oh yeah, that was the other one. So signing international amateurs, I just let the AI do that. You don't really see too many people. My washer has a lot of clothes in it. Let me close this door. I don't know how much of that's picked up on the mic, but we'll have to figure that out there. So basically, yeah, I have a new franchise. Herniated disc? Doing what? Are we even playing yet? Off the field incident? Working out? What are you doing, bud? Going too heavy on squats or something? Although, based on how Jose Ramirez looks in real life, I don't think he's really gonna be at risk to injure himself at the gym. So this is where I want to be able to find my offers, and I can never find it very easily for staff. So I wish that was something that improved. And if you do know, please let me know in the comments if there's an easy way to see my offers from who I've sent already. Because the easiest way I found from here, let's say that I have to fire someone, which I'm already trying to, but I have to go here and then I get into here. So maybe MLB transactions. So how do I get to there? We're problem solving this together, guys. So wait, if I go to here, those are pending. Players, personnel. There we go. We figured it out. All right. Problem solved. So everyone's favoring their offer so far, so we should be okay. Everyone's agreeing. Okay, so now we have to go back to transactions, back to personnel, pending offers. All right, he wants to be a bench coach. This is probably my riskiest signing because he has no experience, but he had pretty good stats, so if he does poorly, we can just get rid of him in the off season. Agrees. All right, so we're gonna delete all of these. We're gonna go back to transactions. I don't like how it keeps popping the message up to there. So if you know how to prevent that, I'm sure there is a way. Personnel, pending. All right, so we should be pretty good. All right, Ben Johnson did here. Agrees. Then we'll double check in the transactions to make sure. And then the other thing I'm going to do is kind of just go through some players and prospects and just kind of make sure. Wait, this guy's a 4-star now? All right, we'll offer. You've convinced me, brother. And he's 25. And it's interesting with some of these guys. Because when you look up their actual profiles, like they're just people that got released, but like they still have good potential, which is kind of odd because obviously in real life, team did not view them as having a lot of potential. So we're gonna go to here to personnel, pending offer, so we don't have anyone there, which is good. So now, let's see if we can get him into there. Good. And Logan Allen and Austin Hedges, we don't really need. I don't know why the Guardians always pay him so much money. He's so terrible. He seems like a nice guy, though. I guess there is some value to having a good catcher, but we're going to throw him to here, and then we kind of have to clean up our franchise a little bit. So we're going to look at the roster. We're going to search for everyone, make sure we get all of the garbanzo beans out. And I did remember that we do have to look for a new scouting director if we can. But honestly, for both of those, we'll probably just wait till the offseason so we'll have more options. And we'll just look through some of these guys that we probably don't really want. Just look for guys that are like above. Organization always likes to have catchers, so just older guys relative to the minors that aren't really that relevant for us. So like 2-star guys, 27, just so we can make sure our younger guys are actually playing. And I don't know, we're just getting rid of Austin Hedges. There's no reason to put him in AAA. We're not going to play him anyway. So we're good there. I think everyone else, we'll just get rid of, well, we'll keep him. All right, so go ahead and release. Go back to our organization. We'll let the AI set up everything. It's nice to do this at first because it kind of just casts a wide net, and then you can get precise with what you want to do after. We don't have the international thing, so we don't have to worry about that getting spammed with 2-star 16-year-olds from random countries, which is nice because most of those guys, don't turn out to be anything that's that great. But as far as the Guardians go, let's look at our best players. So we have, if we go here, so our top prospects, Chase DeLauder is really good. Welbin Francisca, he's also a pretty beast. And Joey Oki, he always develops, but he takes forever. Anytime when I was playing the last one of this one, you just kind of have to hold on to him for a while. And then Jody Cantillo, so we have some decent things. We're 20th out of 30 overall, which is okay. But we need to look at some of the main guys for our pitching. We really don't have that good of a team in real life right now, so I'm not looking forward to that. Let's look here. One of the things, so we have 2 things of waiver set up, so we need to look at injuries. Injury list, that's what I want. All right, so Shane Bieber, the Guardians signed for 10 million and a 16 million player option, and he's only 2.5 stars. Now, unfortunately, he's still out for 2 to 3 months, but he always gets hurt. So we're going to shop him around to see if we can get rid of him. For literally anything, mostly just as cap relief. So we can get Joe Jimenez. We can get an overpriced dude here. So we can get some overpriced people. And I do have the trading set up pretty easy for me. I don't really want to be fighting forever for all of that. Nick Cavadas, pretty decent power, but I think he just plays first in the outfield, so there's always an infinite amount of first basemen that are there. Kybert Ruiz, decent catcher. Let's look at his contract though. So way too much money for a pretty mid player like that. So Jake Irvin is interesting, but I did see some guys up here that were also interesting as far as pitching prospects. So Max Meyer, and then Anthony Venanzio. Xavier Curry, he was actually with Cleveland last year. I was always very confused how he was able to be a professional pitcher. He didn't seem bad, but it was just didn't seem that good. So we're gonna go ahead and just trade for him, clear that out, and then we're gonna just look at see if there's anyone else that's injured that we can trade. So I do have trades beyond 7 days that we can get rid of. I don't know if that's cheese in the system or not. I don't really care. we're not trying to get, I mean, it's not like, you know, he's a, what, 3.5 stars, so it's not like they're giving us these unbelievable prospects that oftentimes they'll offer their injured players for that. But so contract, so he's actually pretty decent, so we could target him. 5 years of control. We could get another starting pitcher. Bailey could be someone that's interesting. And so look down here, Yandy Morales, not really that good, doesn't really have that good of potential, just with contact. And so we'll look up here. He's pretty interesting. I assume he can play a little bit of shortstop as well. So he can. So we're gonna go ahead and grab him. Get rid of all our, because a guy like that, same with like David Fry, like by the time he comes back, he's not really gonna be relevant. So we'll just work through that. But basically that's what I'm gonna be doing here. I'm just gonna work through and see what guys I need to get rid of. So like now Juan Brito can go back to AAA, and then I want to say that he was a starting pitcher, because why else would I have traded for him if he was 2 stars like that? Yeah. So we can take back some of these guys just to make sure I really just have, you know, the best possible team that we can have. Usually the Cleveland's starting pitching, he just needs released. Usually Cleveland starting pitching is pretty rough in the first year with them. And they're just a pretty mid team. So I'm gonna keep working at that, but in next week's video, you'll see some progress. I might play through a whole season, might play through 2. It doesn't really, I don't really have a specific reasoning or like a method to the madness. So I'm just gonna play through, and then I'll just do updates each week at the point that I'm at. So we haven't played any games yet in the first season. I'm gonna work through the roster, and then next video we'll talk about some of the players and development stuff, as well as progress on the current season or maybe in the next season. But that's gonna be it for this one. If you made it to this point, I appreciate it, and I'll talk to you all in the next one. Peace.